All right, so today we're going to go ahead and keep on working on the TBF/M Avenger and see how far we can get. Let's get started. All right, so this is pretty much how we last left it. And what I want to show you is I kind of changed the front end again and started working on getting it to look more like the TBF in the front. But I'm not positive I love it or hate it. I also shaved off one of these. Let's go check it out. All right, so here's the TBF with a rough paint job, and I started to kind of tweak things. So you'll see that I shaved off an edge here, and the gas fuel tank is exposed. I've changed the front end a bit, so it looks more like the TBF, but in a way it looks less like the TBF because there is a lot more bulk to it. It should narrow down on the real TBF, and this one is pretty thick. So I have mixed feelings about keeping it like this versus trying to narrow the front end down, but I don't know. I can't decide if it's better or worse. So if we go ahead and let's go ahead and chop some of this off just to see. I don't know, do I like that? Do I? I don't know. So pretty much these are the same now because this one's a little bit taller. Okay, so all right, let's just check what it looks like. So I hate that. Yeah. All right. So we tried. I hate it. Pretty much the old TBF. So the old TBF is kind of a fat nose. So we're going to leave it like this, I guess, for now. And what we do have to do is, you see this white thing here? That is actually the wing front section. So I use those a lot usually when I'm building wings because they give a little bit of lift, I think. Not a heck of a lot, but enough. So I usually put those on in the center, but I don't like that edge. It kind of jacks it up. It only looks good on like maybe a 109. So let's go ahead and bring that forward, cut it, push it back by 1, paste it, get our block, and cover it up. And then, of course, attach the wings back in. And there we go. I kind of want to start working on the wing and seeing how it will or will not fit together. And so anyways, what happens on the real plane is this wing is cut off around, probably around more like here, I think. It's a pretty short area, I think. And what it does is it spins around like a twist and goes back like a bird's wing. So this wing right here will be pointed flat against almost against the wing. I'm sorry, against the fuselage, and comes back this way. Now Rowan tried to make a plane that did this. It was the Japanese plane that was on the submarine that I can't remember the name of, but he was trying to get it to work, and the game was kind of having issues. So I'm going to go ahead and take a whack at it and see if we can get the wing. Well, you know what? First of all, let me check this out. Do I like the wing width right now? Because I feel that I have to artistically get this a little bit bigger because, yeah, I'm going to have to. Because of the plane being thick, I'm going to have to offset the wings larger than they actually are. So my planes are usually built to scale. So the wingspan right now is at the correct width. But what happens is with blocks, you can't make the body exactly right. So this body should be a lot thinner. And that kind of messes this whole thing up. So I could, if I really wanted to drive myself crazy, I could try to make the body thinner, which means everything would go in by a block, which would really screw my cockpit up. So that's the thing I have to think about. Do I want to try to make this thinner and give it a slimmer profile on the fuselage, or do I want to go ahead and just make it a slightly larger than life plane, which by making the wings wider and making the tail a bit longer will give it the right look. Now it won't be accurate, but it will look better in blocks. So that's what we have to think about. So I'm going to go ahead and not do that. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can give it a little bit more width. Let's grab those blocks right there. Okay. And then if I just, let's bring it out by however many blocks that was. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 blocks. Let's try this really quick just to see if we can get a better look. I think that will get me what I need. Okay, we're going to do that. So copy it, throw it back over here, hit U, and then we will just go to that edge right there, paste it. Now we can connect things. Now the world is right. Okay, so that gives it a little more wingspan, which is more accurate to the larger, the real plane. And even though we are cheating because this wingspan is now larger than it should be, it looks better with this body. So now the other thing we have to do is bring this tail back a little bit because I've screwed that up now. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and probably grab, you know what, let's get some of this logic out of the way. We don't need it. We know how the plane works. We just want to go ahead and clean some stuff up here. Oh, look how nasty that is. We didn't paint it. Alright, so let's just do a real quick paint job to get it back, to where it should be. Cool. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to give this ball turret a little more room, and that's going to mean that we're going to slice and dice. So let's go ahead. Now, I always tell you this when I'm building these planes, that nothing is kind of set in stone unless you start building systems. So I started building systems, so I kind of screwed myself a little bit, but what we're going to go ahead and do is tweak it anyways and rebuild systems as we need to. Okay, so I want that edge right there. If you look right here, I want that flat edge. So I want that flat edge. Okay, so what we're going to do is cut it. Whoop. That's going to take some of my gun away, but that's okay. Now what we're going to do is pull back. We just want to get the right profile. Ugh, I can't get this here. The right profile. So it was right here. I think we want about 2 blocks would be good. Could be wrong, but I think that's about right. It's hard to see in here because I can't really pull enough away. Okay, well, I'm going to go with this amount of blocks right now, which is 2, and then we'll go ahead and if we have to, we will move it forward or backward, depending. So what I'm going by is I looked at a picture, and there is a large space between the turret and where the tail starts coming up here. And so this makes it a little bit better, I think. So we're going to say it does. I'll go with this. Alright, so there we go. Looking okay so far. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in. Nope. We're going to go ahead and, no. We're going to go, yeah, right there. Okay, good. So that fills that in. And we're just going to go and fill in some of these blocks here. This is going to give us a little more room in the tail, actually, for our radio man bombarder guy. And hopefully he will have enough room to see what he's doing. So if we look at red, like I always like to do it in this mode, the merge mode, because you can really see like what the body looks like. And I think it's pretty close. I think the only thing that's bothering me is this tail wheel. I feel like this should be a little bit lower. So like this should extend across more. So, So what I can do is I can move this up and then cover it up. No, I don't think I like that idea. Alright, you know what? Let's get rid of some of this logic again. Alright, it's not bad. It's not bad. And now we have, I don't know what we have here. We have some modifications that may or may not look good when we're done. Okay, so this is our wheel port. I think we're missing a block here, maybe? I think it goes like this. And this may even go here. I think the wheel fits in there. I don't know, that's easy to modify. But what's interesting now I'm looking at this is on the TBF, the wheel goes into the wing that actually moves. So when this is up, we should actually be seeing the wheel inside of the wing. Okay, so I like the profile now, or the front profile, whatever. Looks good. Silhouette, the front silhouette. Side silhouette looks good. Everything looks pretty good, actually. Looks a lot better with the larger wings now. It's giving a balance to the thicker body. Okay, cool. Okay, so now, how do we get the little guy to fold his wings? Well, I don't know. I do not know. Alright, so I'm looking at the plane right now, and from the front of the plane, it looks like... Yeah, it looks like it cuts off maybe right there. No, maybe right about there. Okay, this should be interesting. So, this is where I'm getting a little bit worried, because this wing is complicated. It's not... It doesn't fold upwards, it folds in a twist. So that looks pretty good. Okay, cut. Alright, so let's just get rid of these wing pieces for reference. So I started to put those fuel tanks, that messed me up. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. It almost looks like a block shorter than it should be. Okay, so let's go back again. Clear this out. I'm going to pull it back by one block. And cut again. Alright. So, not too bad. Can live with that. Let's go ahead and delete these. And then put our thingamabob back. Okay. So now we have our wing clipped, which is fine. So what we want to do now is think. So the wing has to twist, wait. How's a twist? Twist like this, and then it goes back like that to the side. So we're going to go ahead and paste this right here. And then we're going to get scared. It is going to turn after the landing gear, so I should have it somewhere in here. Nope, no. Yes, let's do it like that. Okay, and let's go ahead and what we can do, because this is going one way, so like on this pivot, can't do much about it because there's only going to be one that can turn this whole thing around. But what we can do here is we can bring this back and grab one of these. We can turn this, and like this one right here. There we go. Now we have our pivots going to move the wing to the right. Okay, spin it and spin it. Okay, so what's happening is it's running into... Okay, so what we're going to do is... I think we're going to delete some of this. Because the real plane actually has some of this deck part of the outside wing. Okay, let's just try to see what this does. Okay, and then go... Oops, and go back. And go back. Okay, where am I hitting? Why is it hitting there? I'm confused. Just for the record, let's look at what it does now. So right now, we have it so that the first wing twist. It is fast right now. I can tweak that a little bit, but every time I do, it gets a little bit weak when it goes back. So when it goes back like this, if I slow that wing down on the pivot, the wing starts to fall down. Let's try it real quick. So I'm going to, just out of curiosity, I'm going to put down the power and see what that does. Because I've always thought the power was like the strength, but it's a little bit confusing. So let's go ahead and try it now. Look at that. It's super duper fast. So I'm confused by power settings. Like, what does the power do? So if I go and I put this power to like 5%, I would think that that would be like related to the strength. but yet it still does its thing pretty quick. Okay, does it lose its... Okay, it loses strength, see? It's dragging. Okay, let's go back again. Alright, let's put the power back up to 100%. We'll slow it down by 0.1. Now watch what happens here. This is driving me crazy. Watch this. We'll push it back. Okay, now that wasn't too bad. Now watch what happens. When I go back, I think it starts to fall. Actually, it held it. Alright, so I think that's our settings. And we'll keep that. Let's just try it one more time. Comes back, forward. I don't mind the slow speed on this part, because I think it's going to whip the aircraft around if it's faster. And then it pivots back. We've got a slight arch. Oh, now it doesn't have enough power to get that up. Okay, so if I tweak, I think it's this setting. If I tweak this to like 9, I think it freaks out. So that was a 7. Just remember, it was 7. If I tweak it now and have it come back. Okay, then I have it come back again. Then fold it back to the right. Now it should arch back up, but I don't. It did. Okay. So what if we do just a little bit more arch on there? All right, so we changed this to a 0.1, and what it's doing is it's trying to pull this wing upwards when it comes back down in place. And the reason for that is we have this connector here that needs to connect to make the wing solid. So if we go ahead and spin the wing, which is fine, it's not doing too bad. Let's spin the wing back. We have our little hummingbird wing looking good. Okay, now if we come back here, spin it back towards us. When we hit this pivot, it should pull up this wing and connect the connector over there. Here we go. Slowly moving. Wing pulled itself up and connects. Not bad. I think that's going to work. So I'm going to stop here for today, and we will return tomorrow and keep going on this and make sure everything is working, and maybe, just maybe, we can get a test flight out of this thing. So this is starting to turn out to be quite an interesting plane. It is challenging. I wasn't sure what I was getting into when I started doing this plane, but now that it's coming along, I think that I'm actually going to be able to get these wings working the way they should, somewhat the way they should, and maybe even get these torpedo doors working. So, yeah. All right, so that's it. I will see you next time.